In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the power steering return line hose on your Ford Expedition. This line is going to run from the power steering cooler to the return line. Let's get started. We're going to remove the top cover. Using a Phillips head bit, we're going to unscrew the clips. The threads are old, so it won't necessarily unscrew. We're going to use a trim tool and pick up on the centerpiece, and then we can pull the clip out. We're going to go through and do all of them along the top. Remove the cover. We're going to remove the mass airflow sensor connector. There's a little red tab on the bottom. On either side, pull back, and that'll put it in the unlocked position. And then on the bottom, there will be a push button. Push that and pull the sensor back. This is that lock tab. You'll pull this back, and then this is the push button right here. Using an 8mm socket, we're going to loosen the band clamp. There's going to be 3 tabs on this side of the box. We're going to push the 2 tabs on the air box towards the engine. And there's one more tab on the other side of here. Push this boot back. We're going to remove the top of the intake. We're going to take the connector off of this switch. There's a little push button on top. Push that and pull the connector off. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to remove the nut for the bracket. Remove the bracket, remove the air filter out of the air box. We're going to remove the overflow hose off of the radiator. If you have a clamp, you can clamp this hose, and this will make it so no coolant can come out of this. Using a 13mm socket, we're going to remove the 2 bolts off the side of the bottom of the air housing. We're going to pick this assembly straight up out of the grommet, and then we can remove the assembly. Using a pair of pliers, we're going to squeeze the clamp and pull it back. Then we'll pull the soft line off of the metal hose. It might be a good idea to have a rag under you. There may be some fluid that comes out of here. There's one more clamp for that hose located right here. Pinch it, push it back, and we're going to pull the line off of the fitting. I'm using my pliers to help me push the line off. Remove the line. We're going to install the line. I'm going to run this bottom hose first to the cooler fitting. I'm going to get the line mostly started. If you're using a pair of pliers to help you install this line, be sure not to damage it. With the line fully seated onto the fitting, you can pinch our clamp and then move it into position. Slide the soft hose onto the hard line, pinch the clamp, pull it into position. We're going to twist this just a little bit so that these 2 prongs are not pointing straight up since we have the cover that goes here. We're going to install the lower piece of the air box. This tube is going to fit inside of the hole in the side of the fender. And then there's 2 posts in the bottom that are going to fit into grommets. Push the air box down into place. We can pull our cooling hose up and install it onto the radiator. I'm going to drop the filter into place. This only fits one way. Install the 2 bolts on the side. Snug them down. We're going to grab our hood switch. We're going to get the bolt started. Install the connector for the hood switch. Grab the top of your intake. On this far side, there's going to be these tabs. Those are going to slide in to the bottom piece of the airbox. I'm going to push this boot back, swing it down, and pull the boot over that. We're going to clamp our 3 clamps. You have your MAF sensor. We're going to plug that in. Once you hear a click, push the red tab in and lock it into place. Snug down the clamp. Open the cap for the power steering reservoir. Go ahead and fill it if you lost any fluid. Once you've done this, go ahead and get in the car and turn the wheel back and forth. Once you've turned the steering wheel lock to lock about 5 to 10 times, go ahead and start the car up, and we're going to listen to the pump. If you hear any squealing or any air, you still need to bleed the system more. Keep turning, lock to lock. Once you're done bleeding the system and there's no whining coming from the pump, go ahead and put the cap on and close the reservoir. I'm going to prep these clips for install using a small pick. We're going to push the middle out of here. Then we can go through and install our clips. Once I have the bases installed, I'm going to go around and push the middle in. If your clips are still in good working order, you probably won't need to do this. And once you have all your clips in, you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.